Hey guys, it's capcorgi. I hope you guys are doing well. Today is July 1st, and today is the day that gaming has been dealt a huge blow. I cannot overstate how bad this is. Basically, Sony PlayStation has declared that they are no longer going to be making physical copies for video games. Pretty much ever again. Physical copy production will be ending in January 2028 for new games releasing on PlayStation consoles. I will link this in the description below, but I wanted to, at least give you the quick and dirty. I've been covering this type of thing for absolute years on Twitch and YouTube. It's capcorgi on Twitch, capcorgiTV on YouTube, and I've been warning you guys for a very long time what is going on, what is happening, and what these game companies are trying to do. AAA game companies are trying to absolutely destroy games ownership. What they're trying to do is lower their upfront costs, be able to have more control over video games, be able to have more control over you, the gamer, and this is a huge step in that direction. They're trying to couch this as, oh yeah, now we have more freedom. They have more freedom, we have less freedom. That's what it means. Now, I wanted to talk about this a little bit with you guys. I think this is absolutely terrible news. I think this is like literally one of the biggest blows. And Does It Play, who covers, gaming censorship and accessibility and everything like that very well, kind of says it really good to start. You are killing ownership. You are killing legal preservation. You are killing discoverability. You are killing publishers. You're killing developers. This is a move that might slightly improve bottom lines, and this is why they're doing it, for some other reasons as well, which we will cover. But are tearing down every other aspect of the medium. Well done. You fucked up. I cannot agree with this sentiment any more than possible. Like, I wish I could unlike this comment just so I could like it again, because it's actually crazy how on point this is. I want to remind you guys that, we're hearing a lot of, if you look on Twitter, look on social media, you're going to see a lot of Sony super fans defending PlayStation. Don't touch my billion-dollar company. Everyone knows that meme. It's an amazing meme. But this is the same company. Just days ago, I wasn't able to cover that exact piece of news, but you can look it up. This is the exact same company that literally just forced thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions of users of the Sony PlayStation platform, those players and gamers and everything, people who own these digital content, they lost the license for 500 movies and took them away from everyone who owned them. This is people who bought these movies, bought these shows, bought these properties, and be able to use them just like you would, renting a movie or whatever, buying a digital version. But with Sony PlayStation, they lost the rights to have those movies anymore and took it away directly from the owners. What will happen, I ask you, when video games go the same route? What happens when they have, a distinct copy of Call of Duty, some kind of, let's just say, Call of Duty 8 in the future? And Activision, who is owned by Xbox, Xbox decides, you know what? I don't want any other console to any longer have Call of Duty. It's now ours only. What happens to the PlayStation copy, the digital-only PlayStation copy of Call of Duty that you would have on PlayStation? The answer is very simple. Just like those 500 movies were taken away from every digital owner, games would happen the exact same way. Your games would be taken away. There is no precedence to keep your games in that situation. Now, a lot of other people that are Sony super fans, you can see all of the news here. You'll see so many people talking about this, and you'll see a whole bunch of people being like, but what about, you're a PC gamer and that's why you're pissed off. You just don't like Sony. You're biased. No, this is completely incorrect. The difference with PC is that PC is an open platform with multiple storefronts, and you have the ability to run your own software any way you want it to. How many mods have we seen of currently owned games that are, just absolutely break the game in some way? You know, you have Leon Kennedy and Resident Evil Requiem, and you replace him with, like, you know, young Leon Kennedy, or, you know, clad in spandex, or whatever. You have all kinds of stuff. The Thomas the Tank Engine that replaces Mr. X for Resident Evil 2 Remake, so on and so forth. The list goes on and on. You have mods that can completely break the game. That shows how much stronger ownership is on PC. Not only that, you have multiple platforms. You have, you know, Steam itself, which is one of the biggest ones. But if you don't like Steam, or you don't like how they're running the platform, you have GOG.com, Grand Old Games, or Great Old Games. I forgot what the GOG stands for. But they actually have a stamp of ownership for anything you digitally buy, which is way stronger than anything you get on Xbox or PlayStation-owned copies or any other type of platform. GOG is great for that. Now, granted, their library is quite a bit more limited. But if you don't want to go with them, you have Epic Games. If you don't want to go with them, you have even the Ubisoft platform, which no one likes, but at least you have it. Not only that, you also have the Battle.net. The list goes on. There's competition on PC. And also, you have all of the third-party sites. You have, you know, all the game key sites that are out there and everything like that. So those, all of those storefronts all compete with each other. It is not nearly the same thing. Now, the difference is, and I want you guys to remember this, when you have a PlayStation game that is a physical game, you have to make it through PlayStation. You have to make that disc through PlayStation. So when you no longer have physical copies of games, you are only making game keys through PlayStation and PlayStation only. Here's an example of what I'm trying to say. Right now, you can buy, I'm going to look this up and show this to you guys. God of War Ragnarok. So you can right now buy digital, Sony. You can buy it digital on Sony for, I think it's $70. We're going to look this up right now. Yeah, $70, and this is the only way you will be able to buy God of War Ragnarok in the future without physical copies. And the reason I bring this up is right now, if you go to Walmart, God of War physical. You can buy God of War physical copy on Walmart, God of War Ragnarok. Sorry, I should have written Ragnarok. There we go. You can buy it for all the way down to $39 and in some cases $32. Yeah, $32.70. This is the one I saw. So that's the thing. In physical copies, every single store gives a different amount of money. They have a different price structure. They run their own stuff, and that's why you have you know, the different forms of competition between these platforms. One thing that PlayStation is trying to get rid of is the competition. They don't like competition. And if they go digital only, which they're going to do in January, they will basically make it so people will no longer have options after 2028, and they'll have to go directly to Sony's digital storefront and pay whatever Sony says. Guys, you are not angry enough about this. You are not angry and frustrated enough about this. I think that everyone should be pissed about this. I want you all to meme Sony. I want you all to rage. I want you all to make posts. One thing that we've seen is that even Sony bent, broken, and you know, gave up when it came to Helldivers 2, because the entire gaming platform, the entire gaming niche united against Sony to say, hey, you cannot force your PlayStation Network bullshit on us, and we're going to force you to change as a company to make our gaming better instead of your little bottom line of having more PlayStation Network hookups. And they did, because they hate the individual. They hate our ability to go viral. They hate our ability to make posts mocking them and doing nothing but mocking them, because this is our favorite hobby that they're fucking with. For us, this is our literal prime hobby. This is our favorite thing in the world. For them, all it is an extra dollar. Remember this, because we have way more power than they do. and we have way more onus than they do to be able to force their hands. We don't have to eat their slop. Because remember, guys, what happens? Here's the thought process for you guys. What happens when, in 2028, there are no more digital copies? PlayStation owns every single form of selling a digital game for God of War, Ragnarok 2. What happens? Then, if we don't like it, no one buys God of War Ragnarok 2. What happens to PlayStation then? They will not be able to sell their digital-only platforms. They're not looking ahead enough. They're not understanding the writing on the wall because all they care about is the immediate money. And this is absolutely pathetic. Absolute dog shit. I wanted to talk about it quickly with you guys. Get your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What are you thinking? We're going to also talk about later on, if you want to see this, why PlayStation is doing this via revenue, the digital sales versus physical sales. But the thing is to keep in mind that even with the growth of digital sales, their physical sales are still significant percentages. They're still selling 22% of their games physically. So it's really not a good sign. Hideo Kojima said himself, he's made a lot of PlayStation games. Death Stranding 1 and 2 were PlayStation only for an entire year before they came out on PC later on. He's been a big promoter working with Sony very, very directly for countless properties. MGS 1 and 2 first started out on PlayStation 1. I grew up on PlayStation. I love PlayStation. I used to before, all this bullshit happened. Eventually, even digital data will no longer be owned by individuals on their own initiative. Whenever there's a major change or accident in the world, in a country, in a government, in an idea, in a trend, access to it may suddenly be cut off. Ownership is important. We will not be able to freely access the movies, books, and music that we have loved. I would be a have-not. That is what I'm afraid of. This is not greed. This is literal, digital, physical, individual rights. And this is something that is not covered enough by the government for us. The ESA is trying to do the same thing with Stop Killing Games. The list goes on and on. Gamers' rights are being attacked en masse constantly. And that's why I want to bring this up. And this is also something I want to bring up. It was not so long ago. That we had this entire thing. Sony brilliantly brutal. This is how you share your games on PlayStation 4 video. This was a long time ago. This was all the way back in the days of E3. Because we faced this entire situation with Xbox. Xbox tried to do this digital-only thing and tried to screw over gamers. And instead of following the same suit, Sony used to have
this is how you share your games
this.
on PS4.
Step 1. This is a response to Xbox, and this is how far they've fallen. Share your game.
PlayStation.
What the fuck happened, Sony? What the absolute fuck happened? Why are you like this now? And the reason is simple. Greed. Anyways, that's what I want to leave you with. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you guys. If you guys like this video, give it a like, give it a sub, share it with your friends. I will catch you guys in the next video. And absolutely support content creators that are speaking out against this dog shit. I'm someone who loves gaming on all platforms. Sony, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, PC. I play them all. I love all games. I want games to be good. I want gaming to be good for all of us gamers. All I care about are good games and gamers, and all I dislike are bad dog shit gaming things like this. So if you guys like honest content, support your fellow content creators that are covering this. Every single one of them. Mr. Matty Plays has been talking about this, for example. The list goes on and on. All the major content creators are talking about this. And I'm just one extra voice. And it's an important thing to have a voice like that. Take care.